Manchester United are an absolute shambles. Anyone that tells you different is either delusional or in denial. And following United's most recent 4-0 loss to Crystal Palace, it leads a lot of fans wanting majority of the players out, feeling as though they are not fit to wear the badge. And a lot of people are pointing the finger of blame at Erik ten Hag, which I completely understand. I have been very critical of ten Hag, and I don't believe that he is the man for the job. But even someone like myself who's been critical of Erik ten Hag, I have to take a step back and almost feel bad for him to a certain extent. I feel as though a lot of the blame that's been going on for decades is falling on his shoulders, which it's not completely his fault. To use an analogy that I think works best, Manchester United prior to Erik ten Hag was like a Honda Civic with 140,000 miles on it. Yes, it is not in good shape, but there's work that could be done to the car. And appointing Erik ten Hag is like selling the car to someone who doesn't change the oil for a year and a half and puts 100,000 more miles on it. Everyone's looking around the freeway wondering why it's on fire. And using that analogy, it's just to say that things at Manchester United were kind of going down the tubes before Erik ten Hag had even been appointed manager. And I just feel like Manchester United just doesn't care about its finances. There is no reason that they should spend $60 million on a transfer fee for an aging Casemiro to then put him on a contract that pays him out £350,000 a week. They're not spending that money on a 25-year-old guy who they're going to have for the next decade, hopefully. They're spending that on a 30-year-old man who it's like, if we get 4 more seasons out of him, that would be pretty good. Why are you doing this? And other teams just know that they can get as much money as they want out of Manchester United. If they want Antony from Ajax, Ajax is going to be like, let's charge him $80 million because United's just going to pay for him. And I think that this is going to be the biggest challenge for the next manager that comes into United, because personally, if Erik ten Hag is there next season, I'm going to be absolutely shocked. But number one, Manchester United needs to offload some of these players. They are paying far too much in wages. They already spent so much money on the transfer fees. If you look at a guy like Antony, let's be real, you can keep him around and pay him all that money, but you're probably never going to recoup how much you invested into him already. Cut your losses, get rid of him. And the next challenge for the manager is going to be finding value in good players. And what I mean by that is going out and finding good quality players who will improve United, and you're not paying 60-70 million for them. Like, after they just lost to Crystal Palace, there's links between United and Michael Olise. It's like, dude, really? Like, yes, Olise is a very, very talented footballer. I completely think that that's true. But you're going to have to pay 70 to 80 million for Michael Olise. And you're basically paying for a guy who, let's be real, he gets injured quite often. And if you are going to spend a ton of money, make sure that it's worthwhile. Chelsea invested a good amount of money into Cole Palmer. But let's be real, the amount that they invested, it was a really, really good investment. They got a really, really good return on that investment. Cole Palmer is someone for the future, and if he's not, the resale on Cole Palmer is probably going to be upwards of 100 million. Now let's be real, think about a single player in that Manchester United team that didn't come through the academy, that eliminates Rashford, McTominay, Mainu, any of them. Name a single player in that team that you feel as though if United were to sell them right now today, United would get more money on the transfer fee than what they bought them for. The only person I think that you could make a actual argument for, you could probably get a good amount of money for Bruno Fernandes. Like realistically, if you were to sell him, I don't know how much United bought Bruno Fernandes for, but maybe they'd break even, maybe they'd make a few bucks. The rest of them, no. And that's why I truly feel like United may be in a worse situation than Chelsea. I know Chelsea's got a lot of financial issues coming down the pipe. I think that United may have that in the future. However, I feel as though if you look at that Chelsea team, there's a lot of young guys, and there's a lot of guys who, you feel as though they may come good. You look at this United team. Ooh, Mainoo's good. Rashford is the most inconsistent player in the world. I really like Marcus Rashford, but let's be real, he doesn't perform consistently. Martinez, fully fit, he could do well, but he struggled with injuries. Luke Shaw plays 2 games every season, but for those 2 games, unreal. Højlund, I think, can come good. I would actually say the most promise out of any recent transfers for United would be Højlund. Onana, ass. Oh, and Jadon Sancho. I think Jadon Sancho can come good. The whole Jadon Sancho situation for me is enough reason to sack Erik ten Hag. You had all this problem with this guy. We loan him out to Dortmund, and he's just flying. Dortmund are going to play in a Champions League final. Like, that's enough reason to be like, maybe your judgment on our own players isn't even that good. But please, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you agree with some of the points that I've made in this video? Do you disagree? If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure to click that like button. Also, don't forget to click subscribe and click that little notification bell so you know every time I make a new video. I appreciate any and all support I could be given, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.